A cozy cafe, a stolen secret recipe, 5 potential scapegoats. Spill the Beans is a modern fantasy reverse detective visual novel where you're tasked with finding the culprit for your own crime. Navigate your way through conversations with a colorful cast, play the ultimate blame game, and maybe find out more than you bargained for. When you're the one who done it, who will you get to spill the beans? So this lovely game is brought to us by Skeletal Games, and some features that it includes is investigating, interrogation, manipulation, of course, because we're trying to, get someone to take the fall for us. And even though we stole the recipe, someone else can take the fall, And there's a lot of beautiful CGs, and of course, coffee. That's so cool. Okay, I was just opening the games because I wanted to get that opened and whatnot before I continued on. But a little bit more about this game. Like I said, this game is called Spill the Beans, developed by Skeletal Games. And the release date for the full game is expected to be 2025 for PC on Steam. The demo, which I am playing right now, will be open to the public by June 10th. So you can catch that. I'll leave links in the description below for our website, contact information, socials, all of that good stuff. But before we get into the game, don't forget to leave a like or comment. It helps me figure out what kind of things you would like to see so I can make more of those kind of videos for you. And without further ado, let us go. New game. Well, if I can click on the new game. I was clicked out of the game. My bad. A safe stands in an unlit office, the door wide open. Inside, a scroll lies on a wooden stand, marked with magical writing and drawings of coffee-making equipment. You've done it. Against all odds, you've managed to pull off the heist. Your shaking, outstretched hands grab the cafe's secret recipe. In an instant, you swipe it from the stand. As its power pulses through your body, your heart aches, your breath flutters. Mere echoes of what was taken from you will soon be yours again. But at this crucial moment, you can't help but think of the other people in this cafe, the ones you're about to drag into a complicated, criminal mess. You can only blame the scroll's influence for such inconvenient sympathies. As you cast your mind to those 5 people, their silhouettes seem to cast shadows over you, one by one. If they were in your position, they'd do the same, wouldn't they? They'd know that, after everything you've been through, this was the only option left. Ooh, pretty. We cut to black, and a postcard slides on screen and shows a pink sun rising over a canyon city, the skyline dominated by a helix-shaped skyscraper. The caption in big orange letters reads, "Hail and well met from Artifice." People say that Artifice County is the most magical place there is. Yes. Artifice, where 100 years ago, the world of spirits cracked the earth and spilled it over into ours. Ooh, interesting. I wonder why they want to come over here. I'm just saying, I don't want to come over here. The camera pulls back, revealing that the postcard is pinned to the center of a corkboard. But now, those spirits work 9 to 5s. Aw, that's boring. Imagine you're like all free and enjoying life, and then suddenly you work 9 to 5 office jobs and stuff. That doesn't sound very fun. Arcane power fuels cars and charges phones. This county, once the cradle of magic, has become as mundane as any other. We keep pulling back to show the entire corkboard. It's covered with photos, paper notes, post-its, and strands of red string that connect them together. It looks like a detective board. That's pretty cool. And an unmagical human, like yourself, among shape-shifting sirens, carbon fiber constructs, and wizards, you're exceptional, exceptionally dull, and exceptionally underestimated. At the bottom right, there's a business card labeled Hemodynamics Feel Better. Feel better. A nearby photo shows a lanky middle-aged man with yellow eyes dressed in a lab coat, a black and white cat lurks half out of frame. No matter how much you tried to fit in, to love this place, and all its wonders, it never reciprocated. All it did was take. All it left you with was emptiness. At the bottom left, there's a quote, grocery list, on a paper card. It lists teleportable, blackout blanket, and curse be gone. All 3 are ticked. So why not take something back? Steal everything the county denied from you. Feel that gnawing emptiness. Then leave it behind forever. Luckily, you know what you need, and exactly where to find it. Moving past faded photos of a cafe interior, the top left shows a clipping from the daily Cantrip newspaper with the headline, "A Familiar Secret, New Business Magically Booming." Its accompanying picture is of a black and white cat posed next to a pot of coffee with a first place prize. Oh, is that the same cat from the other photo? The Familiar, a downtown cafe, noteworthy only for its secret recipe, locked tight in a back room. And conveniently enough, they're hiring, so desperately that they aren't asking for experience or background checks. Should definitely check backgrounds. Experience not so important because you can learn that, but background check kind of important, yeah. And finally, at the top right, there's a photo of the Familiar, a cafe on a street corner. It displays its brown logo, a cat's paw print, formed from a cup and 4 coffee beans. That's actually kind of creative. I like that. All that's left is to put together an application. Not that anything you say on it really matters, it really does. Oh, we get to fill out the application. Fill out the application. Rini, Sakai. I am in self-motivated. Why not? Self-motivated professional. Yeah, professional. Who loves social interaction? No, it doesn't really go with professional. A job well done. There we go. Soft skills. Competent leader. Expert articulator. Snack fetcher. Mind-boggling understander. God of electrocutioner. I don't even know idea what that is. Master problem solver. I think grandmaster is too much. Can change the hair. No, close enough. She, her. Yeah. Nice. And it has like education and experience down here, but it's like covered in coffee, so it's hard to tell exactly, but it does say hemodynamics down here, so let's go. A few days later, you're face to face with the Familiar, while its neighbors are all dust and drywall. Its facade seems unbroken, even if the varnish is peeling at the edges. It also, unusually, has a pet flap on the front door. Probably for that cat. For a moment, nothing. Then you spot a silhouette in the window, who flickers its neon sign to open before waving you over. You cross the street, repeating the details of your plan. You need to get in, get out, and, for the smoothest possible getaway, try to find someone else to take the blame. But can you really do all those things without running into any complications? Nothing always goes to plan. I'm just saying, nothing ever goes to plan. You've already reached the front door. You can hardly turn back now. The cafe laid bare before you is almost indistinguishable from the scant images you found online. Looking to the right, you take in the main floor of the cafe. Its 2 large windows illuminating a plainly decorated interior. 2 wooden wall shelves are optimistically decorated with knickknacks, as well as a single potted plant each. Mismatched chairs and royalty-free wallpaper. Yes, that is important. Yes, yes. Well kept, but worn down. Another turn to the right, high stools are placed at a raised table by another large window. A door to the washrooms is marked by a sign next to a framed photo of that cat in the newspaper. Finally, you turn to the wooden countertop of the cafe, covered with coffee machines. A till is placed near a glass display of pastries, built directly into the counter itself. Oh my god, those cat pastries? That's so cute. Oh my god, look at them. Look at them. I wouldn't even want to eat those. I'd be like, I don't want to eat those. They're so cute. It's otherwise sparsely furnished. The walls only decorated with shelves of coffee cups and two chalkboard menus. Behind the counter, a doorway leads to another room, marked employees only. You don't get long to take it all in. A construct towering over 2 meters tall stops wiping down the counter and turns to greet you. She's wearing a wide orange shirt, brown trousers, and an apron stamped with the cafe's logo, but her chef's cap tells you she isn't just responsible for coffee. Ah, you must be Rini. Great to finally meet you. Sorry, terribly rude of me not to meet you at the door. As she strides over, you realize how old her vessel must be to have no custom limbs or decals. Just worn gray stone, flowering moss, and that tiny blue bird nested on her shoulder. Aw, it's a birdie! I didn't even notice the birdie. Hi, Burb! I'm Sloan, from the emails. I'm lovely to have you on board. Did you get here alright? I saw your address was uptown and I know we're a wee bit out of the way. Before you get a chance to reply, she's already yanked you into a crushing two-handed shake. Oh no, my hands. For a moment, you worry that she might have pulled your arm from its socket. Oh my. Actually, I shouldn't get chatting just yet. Today's schedule is pretty packed with your induction, and I barely found time to fix breakfast for Tom. Oh, hang on. By the way of explanation, she gently lifts the nest off her shoulder to present it to you. The tiny blue bird inside stares at you blankly, undisturbed by the movement. This is Tom. Tom, say hello to Rini. She's your new coworker, so be polite. Aw, the bird's so happy. Sloan gently placed Tom back on her shoulder. Tom's usually my only company out front, so it'd be nice to have you too. I mean, I love this job, I really do, but after 6 years of working the floor by myself, starting at 5 every day. For 6 years? All by herself? Oh my gosh. Man, I quit. Not that you have to come in that early, of course. We're only meant to start at 8, but it pays off, it does. You get a moment of introspection, the colors seeming to drain from your surroundings. As the sun trails off, you have a chance to put your plan into motion. You spend a long time figuring out other people's so-called feelings and just how easy they are to manipulate. Ooh, into manipulation, let's go. If someone's in a good mood, they'll probably think better of you and suspect you less. Then again, if you make someone upset, they might make for an easier scapegoat under pressure. So what's best for Sloan? Better make the first impression count. Rini? Oh, I've worried you with the 5 a.m. thing, haven't I? I just want to stress that you don't have to do that. Honest. Let's see. It depends. Are you paid for those extra hours? Is honestly what I would personally say, because, I mean, time is money, honey. Time is money. Those extra hours must be worth it. This place is spotless. Do we want her to be an ally, or do we want to just make her easy to put under pressure? I feel like since she's already like under so much pressure, she'd probably easily break under pressure. So let's do the first one. They technically, no, but they pay off, you know, emotionally. And when you really care about doing a good job, it's always worth it, always. No, it's not always worth it. The lights flicker overhead before Sloane can finish her sentence. Oh my goodness sake, I just fixed you. Serves us right for hooking up the magic ourselves. Anyway, pack schedule. Got pastries in the oven, then a delivery after. Come on, let's get you a uniform. If we're quick, I can show you how our recipe works before any customers arrive. Before any customers arrive. Sloane strides through the doorway behind the counter, beckoning you into the kitchen beyond. It takes 3 steps to match just one of hers. The kitchen, built from cool metal and bright angles, is warm with the smell of apricots. Ooh, apricots. You breathe it in while Sloane roots through a nearby cabinet before suddenly sighing. Ah. Of course, the diaper didn't come in on time. Why would it have? Right. Rini, here's your apron. She hands you an apron like her own, exactly like her own, actually. And that it's far too big for you, it's bound to slow you down and make you look utterly ridiculous. Your one should be here tomorrow, if they still remember our order. Would you be alright wearing this one, just for the day? Sure, if anything, it's amusing. Can I skip the uniform if it's just for today? Take the apron. You're here to play the part, aren't you? Don't take the apron. You're liable to trip over that thing. Yeah, we should not. Cause I feel like we trip over it or like, or something when we're trying to steal the recipe. So, yeah, let's not. You're not stealing anything in something so unwieldy. Oh, sure. Do take a name tag at least, just so everyone knows you're actually supposed to work here. As you pin your name tag onto your unaproned self, Sloane smiles. It's a stretched, strained smile that pulls her whole face taut. Look, I'm not sure everything you've heard about this place has been grand, but once you put a little elbow grease, she really shines, and I've got a lot of elbow grease. Ew. I don't know about this. I hope you're prepared to put in just as much. That's all. After going through the effort of putting that application together, it was definitely distinctive. You did say you're a competent leader. Points for honesty, I suppose. I'm hoping we can aim a little higher. But at the end of the day, those are just words. Your experience was what really sold it. I mean, it must have been quite a privilege to work for. Sloane is cut short by a buzz from her phone. Ah, pastries! Why don't you pop into the office while I grab those? Fred, your manager, I should say, ought to be ready. Big red door on your right. Best of luck. she just like, she's all over the place. I feel so bad for her. But she also seems like the type to be easy to manipulate, so. Sure enough, there's a large gray door at the far side of the room, another one equipped with a pet flap. You take 5, no 6 steps towards the office, a hiss of heat escaping the oven behind you. Beyond lies Fred, the owner, the one from the newspaper, the one whose recipe you're here for. Inside the office is small, and most of the space is taken up by a huge metal safe against the back wall. It has a blue cat bed on top, and there's a tall cat tower next to it. The room also contains a low desk covered with stationery and a scratched up swivel chair behind it. You ease the door open, but no one greets you. Your eyes are immediately drawn to the colossal metal safe that occupies a quarter of the room, just a few steps away. That safe is huge! If it's just a recipe, why does it need to be that big? It'd be a little tiny safe. You're up close to the safe now, nestled in the corner of the room. It's locked by a hand wheel, as if it were a bank vault. You knew the recipe was protected, but Not like this. The safe looks like it was taken from the set of a heist movie. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. It's huge. It should be locking up gold bars instead of, what, a recipe for coffee? But as you run a hand across its surface, wondering just how you're going to crack it open, there's a rustle nearby. You snap upright with a bolt of unbidden adrenaline. Like a dragon emerging from its hoard, a tiny, gold-eyed tuxedo cat browses from a pet bed on top of the safe. He blinks, stickily. Then something glares at you. Fur on end, eyes aglow. Whoa! Eggy kitty. And the cat's black and white fur is messy from sleep, but he's also wearing a tiny white collar complete with a blue tie. Don't touch my... He spits the words at you like darts, light crackling through his panicked eyes. The air in the room starts getting heavier as if brewing into a thundercloud. Who sent you? If you think you're going to best me in my own domain, then... Wait. You're the new hire, aren't you? Quick as a power cut, the light in his eyes black out, and the pressure lifts with it. The cat sighs, leaping smoothly from the safe to the desk. Oh my gosh. I would be terrified if this happened to me. I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna leave, bye. Sorry, that was unprofessional of me. I'm Fred. Welcome to the familiar. Good to have you on board. I don't know about this. Well, given the terrifying magic and the talking, he's not a cat. He's a demon bound to the form of a beast. A familiar, in other words. That's the last time I'm pulling an all-nighter on admin. You're lucky to still be young, human, because after the first century, things get... Someone wanted you on board, right? We have one main rule. Do everything you can to show the economist types this place isn't a bad idea. More than fire safety drills. We need to drive and spite. So that's what I expect from you. Are we clear? Crystal clear, boss. Did you expect I'd be here today? What's up? Because Fred is the boss and he guards the safe, so it'd be better if we have him on our side. So let's make him an ally. That's what I'd like to hear. So long as we're on the same page, you and I will get along just fine. We aren't a happy little family here. We're just hard workers. This isn't going to work if you aren't prepared to work just as hard as me and Sloan. As if on cue, Sloan enters the office. As if on cue, Sloan enters the office, a kettle of boiling water in one hand and a packet of coffee in the other. She starts mixing the two in a mug on Fred's desk. The mug bears the label, "Okay, boss," in capital letters next to a dubious thumbs up. Fred, you didn't shout out our newest staff members first thing in the morning, did you? No. It's alright. I've just been giving, Fred quickly squints at your name tag. Giving Rini the down low. I completely skipped that audio just now. There we go. I completely skipped the audio. Where is that? Giving Rini the lowdown on the familiar, our history, and what we do. All the good stuff. Sloan's gaze drifts from your name tag to Fred's bleary eyes, then to his unkept bed. Any luster in her smile twinkles out. Man, she's just exhausted. She needs a break. Oh, that's nice. I can join you now if you'd like. We can go over the finer details together. If you got time, by all means. With firm movements, Sloan puts the kettle down and closes the door behind her. Fred's eyes lock onto your name tag again as he reads it under his breath. So, Rini, let's get down to business. We're open 8 to 5 most days, but your shift goes 30 minutes longer at the end for closing. Anything after that is overtime. I can give you the forms. Aprons go on the hooks in the kitchen. If anything gets spilled on it, don't be afraid to excuse yourself and replace it as soon as you can. Oh, and if you are going to excuse yourself. And on it goes. Sloane and Fred don't speak to you as two different people, but as two halves of one business. Efficient, organized, and trusting one another as best they can. That should be most of it. I'll be with you at the counter for your training, so don't hesitate to ask me questions. She's cut off again by her phone. Poor Sloane. Oh, excuse me. Dave. She pulls up a slightly scratched smartphone in a blue case showing an incoming call from Dave, a light-skinned person in his late 20s with short, reddish-brown hair, a whiskey beard, and green eyes. He's dressed in a green company uniform that, for unclear reasons, includes a baseball cap. Hey, Sloane. Just unloading the van out back, and I completely skipped it again. I am so sorry. Hiya, Sloane. Just unloading the van out back, so there's your heads up. Thanks, Dave. I'll be right there. Sloane hangs up, putting the phone down. I didn't realize this takes so long. I've got to get my signature for the deliveries. Talk to you later, Fred. Oh, Rini, before you join her, I'm sure you've heard about our recipe. Must be dying to learn what makes the Familiar's coffee so irresistible. But it's not so much a set of instructions as it is, well, I won't get too arcane with you. It's more of a background thing, like the internet. You use that, right? Point being, even if you don't see it, it'll still be working its magic back here in a drill-proof, bomb-proof, 6-gauge safe, which only me and Sloane can open. Also, I cursed it. Interesting. So it's protected against teleport-based attacks too, of course. Oh, Sloane offered to show me the recipe earlier. I get it, you've got to protect what's yours. Become suspicious of Sloane. Oh, did she? That's, nice of her. Nicer than necessary. Maybe she meant it metaphorically. Hope she did. He looks back at the veritable vault behind him, as if checking that it's still there. Can never be too careful with these things, especially in this economy. I mean, wasn't it just last week that Raphael Hendricks wrote off his beauty store chain? It's inspirational how these CEOs act. Expanding isn't easy. I mean, ideally, we'd have an accountant, a consultant, another chef, but we've got you. And you're one hell of a good start. Especially with our regulars. Ugh. You'll meet them soon enough. You should catch up with Sloane. Anything you need, I'll be here, going over these papers. As you leave the office, Fred pulls a single sheet of paper from the files on his desk. Even upside down, you recognize it as your CV. Oh, why is he looking at our CV for? And a moment after you enter the kitchen, someone waves at you from the back door. The back door of the kitchen only leads to a brick wall alley outside. In the doorway next to Sloane is a uniformed courier, a human, just as unremarkable as you. A precarious stack of cardboard boxes wobbles threateningly behind him. Oh no, not all the cardboard boxes! So you're Rini, aren't you? Looks like you passed all of Sloane's devious barista trials. Nicely done. Not everybody makes it. Dave gives Sloane a package and gives you a conspirational eyebrow waggle. Waggle. He pauses to take a long breath inward through his nose. Ooh, is that apricot? So you did go for the new recipe. Fred must have taken some convincing. Oh, I'm just trying it out. We'll see how they sell first. Hey, if I come by once I'm off work, that's one customer right there. Guaranteed. Sloane breaks away to put each package in its right place. Dave looks at you, eyes glistening. Hey, Rini. Have a good first day, yeah? If you say so. But actually, who cares? He'll be gone soon. Thanks, I will. Let's make his day okie dokies. Why not? He may not be here for it, but if all goes well, today's going to be good. That's a spirit. Any more from me, Dave? Just a couple bigger things, but I'll grab those this time. Don't let me interrupt your induction. Are you sure I could carry? I get you later for that pastry, yeah? Dave walks away whistling, his footsteps gradually going quiet in the alleyway. Fred overslept in here. I'd say it's not normally like this, but, well, it works. And we make it work. He knows her hands are balled into fists, one so tight that even the stone starts to buckle. I just want your first day to be easy, but let's just keep behind the counter. Sloane returns to her affable disposition, as if nothing ever happened. She leads you to the counter. Man, Sloane needs a break. She overworked and stressed. There won't be time to take you through all the machines, so let's just fill the drip maker. And keep the house roast down here. She effortlessly pulls open a burlap sack of beans, scooping them into the grinder. As you pulverize them, the aroma of the coffee fills your lungs like a cloud of bitter smoke. Today's been all over the shop, hasn't it? We should get a wee moment to breathe now. Only one customer comes in this early and they don't do Mondays. I'll introduce you tomorrow. Sloane smiles, the stone wrinkling under her eyes, and it draws on you. This is beginning to feel like a real job. I mean, yes, it is a job. Even though we're here for other reasons, this is still a job. Just as you finish that thought, the front door swings wide open and your first customer skips inside. They're short and fat, with dark skin and a thick head of hair dyed pastel pink. Well, making note of that is a bit redundant. You spot at least 4 shades of pink in their outfit. Pink fingernails, pink sun hat, lipstick, bag hat. That dress must be bespoke too. Pricey. The color of their dress is embroidered. Even there's a 4-pointed star, a crescent moon. The latter is matched by a silver bracelet on their wrist, where a crescent moon charm is attached. As they draw close, though, you spot pointed fangs in their cherry smile and deep red eyes behind their tinted glasses. A vampire. Vampire! Good morning, Sloane. Oh, I was wrong then. Good morning. Before you order, this is Rini, our new barista. Oh, so you're finally upscaling. You know, I saw some prime real estate going for cheap on Moonbow. If expansion's on your mind. Slow down. We're not taking over the industry just yet. The vampire looks as if they have more to say, words bubbling just beneath the surface, but settles on a pout. She's so pretty and cute though. I love her. Rini, this is. I'm Jessie with an IE. Jessie's eyes swivel to you with abundant curiosity. You're not in uniform. Is this your trial period? Should I be giving feedback on your drinks? All criticism will be constructive, I promise. Why is she acting like she owns this building or something? What the heck? Oh no, it's not that. Just part of the Familiar's usual organization. Anyway, what'll it be this time, Jessie? A hot chocolate, please. And I'll have it with, a whipped cream, nutmeg, caramel, marshmallows. Wait, will that fit? Marshmallows and whipped cream, then caramel and the rest. Oh, but what if I got cookies too? Give me one with everything, and 2 chocolate cookies, please. Everything? You mean every, flavor they have? Or... I would be so confused if someone came into the coffee shop and was like, can I have a hot chocolate with everything? I'm like, you mean just everything on a hot chocolate that typically is on a hot chocolate that has, whipped cream and marshmallows? Or do you mean every flavor that we have? I'd be so lost and confused. So let's put it off to one side, rifling through her arsenal of ingredients. Meanwhile, Jessie brandishes a pink bat-styled mug from their satchel, placing it on the counter as their eyes flick back to you. Even if Sloan and Fred aren't aiming for world domination yet, you're still on the front line of their expansion plans. They're investing a lot of trust in you. So tell me, do you feel like a good investment? How far are you willing to go to succeed? Well, it's just a job, really. I'd do anything. So, like I said, let's try to keep everyone but Fred under pressure. That way they'll be easy to manipulate later. The vampire peers deep into your eyes, as if making out something in the distance. I see. That's all I wanted to know. I wasn't expecting you today, Jessie. College didn't swap your time slot without telling you again, didn't they? Oh, did they? Oh no, I'm meeting with the board in person after this. I could use energy boost. Ah, for your infamous internship. How is your family treating you then? The same way they treat everybody. If I could afford it, I'd be here to help the familiar instead. But then Fred's just like everyone else. He sees my last name is Hendricks and thinks I'm some sorceress corporate spy out to suck the probable blood from his business. Oh, Hendricks, they were talking about that before. Right, he was talking about that earlier with us. Of course, the Hendrickses. Rich, powerful, and most troublingly, for you, magically talented. Jessie looks at you, anticipating your judgment with a flat smile. Let's see. You know, Fred did say he was looking for a consultant. He called your father cashing out on a failed business inspirational. Well, you're far too fashionable to be a spy. Let's make Jessie suspicious of Fred. Yeah. Oh, maybe they're more alike than I thought then. Not a good thing for the record. Try not to let your family get you down, Jessie. You'll get your chance to prove yourself someday. Well, if all goes according to plan, that chance should come today. Fingers crossed. Sloan passes Jessie's now full mug across the counter. By some miracle of physics, it hasn't spilled over yet. I was say, I think that thing's like overflowing. Oh my goodness. The pink mug, complete with the bat's ears and smiling face, is full to the brim with hot chocolate and topping covered cream. It hugs the cookies close to his chest. Maybe this was a bit ambitious, but if I use a cookie to scoop up the cream and let the marshmallows melt, I can finish it in 30 minutes. I should go. Thank you, Sloan. Rini, I'll see you later. Bye. Jessie swipes their card, then their mug, making a beeline for a booth seat before the payment even goes through. They assemble their workstation in mere seconds. A sheaf of papers, a stack of textbooks, and a predictably pink laptop. Man, she really loves pink. I mean, you do what you do. You do you. The mug stands diligently at a safe distance. Jessie was a surprise, but at least they're a nice one. I'm just grateful they didn't come in the same time as... Ooh, who is this? Beautiful. A siren. Before she can finish, the front door swings open and a siren rolls into the room. Her wheelchair, styled like white fishbone, holds her mermaid-like tail to her front. The morning sun shimmers across her thoroughly moisturized blue scales. She's wearing a sleeveless orange turtleneck, a magnolia-covered jacket that's relaxing on her shoulders, and a perfectly photogenic smile that doesn't quite reach her eyes. Hello, the familiar. It's a perfect day for my long overdue review, don't you think? You'll have to forgive me. I came straight here from my morning swim. I must look a mess. She runs one hand through a river of glossy pale hair, parted by an immaculate side cut, and raises a smartphone with the other, flourishing it like a paper fan. Oh gosh. Is he an influencer? No rest for the wicked. Oh no, did they not get along? Jessie shrinks back, arranging their books into a makeshift wall. It seems to work. The siren glides over towards a counter, not noticing them at all. Now, Sloane, I know you very well, of course, but for the benefit of both me and my adoring fans, who is this? Oh, I didn't know you'd be coming. This is... The siren's already staring at your name tag, trying to preempt Sloane's introduction. So that's how you spell it. Rini! Enchanté. I'm Alexandra Argos. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. You don't happen to have a Grimoire account, do you, Rini? I'd love to give you proper credit in my post. How about a drink first? Before anything goes onto that internet page of yours. Quite right, Sloane. I'm getting ahead of myself. Could I have... She clears her throat and straightens her back. A blue sea salt caramel frap with soy milk and non-dairy whipped cream on top, plus a little of that raspberry chocolate powder you have, would be lovely. Thank you so much. I should have everything. Let me check the back first. Rini, could you grab a plastic cup for that? Lids are in the bottom left cupboard. Wait, do you have any of those little fish cook... She's gone. In the silence, Alexandria's smile slides off her face. She sighs sharply through her nose. Are you alright? I know this whole song and dance can be quite overwhelming if you aren't prepared, but then you don't know who I am anyway, do you? Oh no, of course I've heard of you, and I have never heard of you, sorry. Okay. So I want her to break under pressure more. Even though I don't really know who she is, we want her to break under pressure. So yes, 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 yes. Oh my gosh, that face! The most disgusted I love it. Disgusted face. It's fantastic. Oh my god, look at that. Of course you have. Always happy to meet my fans. But don't bother being polite. I can tell you don't have any idea who I am. Sloane returns, hands full of yet more ingredients. You hand her a cup and she starts filling it with dubiously blue syrup. Oh, it's gonna be blue. Alexandria, meanwhile, reapplies her former hollow smile. Should I expect your fans to start ordering these fraps in the hundreds? I'm not sure they're on theme anymore. Oh, nothing so drastic. It'll just make a pretty picture to draw in the crowds. The algorithms will eat it up. Alexandria plucks the card reader from the counter with a sly smile, passes her phone across it, and hands it back with a wink. There's a 30% tip attached. Woo! 30%! Sheesh! Well, I wouldn't know. All that social media stuff passed me by. Like it took over everything when I wasn't looking. Sloane, trust me. You got a wonderful, marketable place here. What's not to love? Those donuts. Those menus. Alexandria turns around to gesture at the cafe. Her eyes finally land on Jessie. Her voice freezes in her throat. Jess? Oh no! Oh, she's so cute as a bat. Look at her. Aww. Eek! In an instant, Jessie is enveloped in a thick cloud, and once it clears, a bow-tied bat flops in her place. The bow tie is still pink, at least. Oh no, Jessie. Alex, why'd you pick today of all days to come in? Well, you might have known if you followed me on Grim. Forget it. Do you? Alexandra avoids Jesse's gaze. Aww. Sloan puts the finished frap to one side, pushing past you to tend to the transformed Jesse. Alexandra squeaks a little closer to you. What an unfortunate coincidence. Well, let's both make sure it doesn't distract us from the task at hand. She plucks the frap from the counter. You're not sure how anything that colorful could taste any better than tolerable. The plastic cup is filled with a sea foam colored drink, covered with pink speckled cream, a green straw, and a tiny fish-shaped cookie stick out the top. I know when I'm not wanted. I'll just snap a few photos, then be on my merry way. The lighting's not an ordeal, but I can fix it in the post. Feel free to dim the lights, the switch is right there. So Jesse really didn't know you were coming, but they seem so organized. I don't know what's going on between you two, but I'm sorry. Let's shift her suspicions to Jesse now. I really thought they'd check my page to avoid something like this. They must have their reasons. Not that I'd know what those are anymore. Oh, what if they used to be friends? Or what if they were dating? Because like, remember in the trailer, you know, they're like, their hands were like super close and then on top of each other, and I was like, oh, I smell some history. I smell some tea, even though we're in a coffee shop. And the final smile, Alexandria takes her drink to the cafe's centermost table, posing it like an art exhibit. Jessie, still a bat, keeps staring at her, but she doesn't look back. With an exhausted puff of smoke, Jessie returns to their original form and slumps into their seat, eyes wandering to the crescent moon bracelet on their wrist. Sloan returns after confirming they're okay. Oh! I'm so sorry. So Jessie's pronouns are they. Okay, that makes more sense. I was like, they? Oh, okay, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Also on Pride Month, Rini. I'm so sorry. Happy Pride, everyone, by the way. You know, Rini, I'm glad, because now it's impossible for today to get more complicated than it already is. She's caught up by the sound of a motorbike revving down outside, heralding the arrival of your third customer. On a bike? Hey, yo, let me on there. Oh, it's a skull person. This person is, at first even for you, someone whose body lacks everything but a skeleton. You don't know any kind of magic that can make that work. Skinless, fleshless, sigless. Although, he does have hair, which you're pretty sure isn't a type of bone. Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. There's hair, but nothing else. Everything else is just bone. A stiff, dark brown pompadour that props up a pair of sunglasses. His clothes hang loose on a skeletal frame with an overpulled belt, a blue shirt with an SK logo, and a cropped leather jacket covered with roses. Grudge? Oh no. His name is Grudge. Interesting name for that character. Interesting. I like it. Grudge! Hey, how's it going? I feel like I've barely seen you since ArtCon. ArtCon, oh. He completely ignored Jessie. What the? Excuse? Oh no, Jessie's face. He reaches the counter, undeterred. You're waiting for Sloan to address him like the others, but she's just staring, locked in place. It's as if he looks at you. All the color suddenly drains from the world, plunging the cafe into a scene from a film noir. So you're the new barista. Good job on making it this far. Makes you one of the best, don't it? Ain't just a coffee, a brew. It's... your resolve. Can I, can we take your order? Sona at least has retained her color. So just got just swirling out the top, like. Yeah, resolve. Well, let me tell you, I know your type, and I know you're up to something. I can feel it I can feel it. Sloan, I would like to order. Thank you kindly. Let's put your new barista to the test. I'll have a coffee, a black coffee. Oh, okay. So he's suspicious of us. From the pot. Doesn't have to be. Yeah. He's so awkward. But I like that. He's an interesting one. As he stumbles over his order, the color seems to return to the cafe. I think it might Sloane's eyes bounce between his skull and the coffee pot on the counter. Rini, you can handle this one, right? I'll just be right here. Seems like she isn't going to budge. You grab a cup and start pouring. Wait, what's her name? Rini. Okay, think I got it. Rini. So that's to be the name of my nemesis. I'm Grudge. Grudge Knuckles. And you'd best remember it. Even if Frederick gave you this job instead of me, there's bound to be cracks in your meticulous facade. Your coffee making halts at this revelation. You had a whole rant prepared just because you got this job? With an application like that? You're making it obvious why they didn't pick you. Hey, you caught me. It's all ruse. Woo. Nah, we want him to crack under pressure too. Hit me right in my non-existent heart. I'm so sorry. You're gonna make a fine nemesis, that's for sure. Much as it pains me, physically. You present the now full cup to Grudge. He daintily drops in a sugar cube, then stirs a coffee with a bone-like spoon, which he apparently just had, loose, in one of his pockets. Ew, what the... The coffee cup is covered with worn rose decals. Grudge carefully arranges his spoon bone with 2 brown sugar cubes on the saucer. Nice try, Rini, but I know coffee when I see it, so there's no way this... He puts it to his jawbone and takes a delicate sip. The liquid seems to vanish as soon as it enters his mouth. Damn it, it's just like usual. How'd she get it right so quick? So bitter, yet so energizing. Fine, I'll hand it to you. Rini. Looks like you're real lucky. That's a decent cup of coffee. But beware, I'm watching you. He takes the cup and spins dramatically away from the counter. It's then that he finally spots Jessie. Jessie! Grudge! They immediately hug. Aw. But he ignored her at first. The heck? It's so good to see ya. Why didn't you pipe up earlier? I was waiting for you to finish. That sounded quite personal, Grudge. Are you sure that was a good idea? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I heard that. Sorry, was just a personal... Nah, doesn't matter. How's your job going? I could tell you, but I've not got long. Are you sure you don't want something with your coffee? Son's made some great cookies today, and I'd be happy to buy. Oh, no. Shouldn't give my nemesis the satisfaction. Not after walking away all conclusively like I just did. Grudge, you haven't even paid yet. And I admire your candor, but are you sure Rini's your nemesis and not Fred? Ugh. Fred's a real villain, that's true, but nemesis, that's different. Gotta be personal. Alexandra types at her phone, seemingly engaging with a conversation. I wonder what she's doing over there. Also, there's no music at this point. I wonder if that's intentional? I don't know. But you don't know who Rini is yet. Maybe start with a rivalry as practice. A rivalry. Having a lovely time at. No, I used lovely last time. Don't think that's insincere. Ugh, what if I. Oh, I almost forgot. Alex. How you doing? All good over there? Grudgy, I didn't see you come in. What a coincidence to run into both you and Jess today. Well, it's funny you're here actually. There was something I wanted to. But Alexandra just turns back to her phone. Oh, ripping. I'll just talk to you later. You too, Jess, if you're busy. Sorry, I should pay for this. Grudge sheepishly returns to the counter, hands fishing through his jacket pockets for some loose coins. Well, I'm back. Got too caught in the whole confrontation to give you your money. Even if most of it's going straight into Fred's pockets. Ugh. But I'll say this, I'm practically a coffee detective, and I'm detecting something odd about you. So long as I come here, I'm gonna do my damnedest to figure out what. You think I'm suspicious? Wait till you see what Fred's up to. Is it just me, or is Alexandra trying to ignore you? Then try and catch me, detective. Act suspicious in front of everyone, or of Alexandria. Not Alexandria. I want everyone to be suspicious of each other. That'd be great. Everyone be suspicious of each other except me. Yeah, go after everyone else. Ignore me? Why would she? Nah. There'll be someone sees of Dawn and me, Rini. She's just busy, that's all. I don't know. It's kind of sus, you know. It's kind of sus. Without another word, he perches on a stool by one of the cafe's front windows. Over his shoulder, Alexandra and Jessie swap looks of confused concern. That went as well as it could have, given the circumstances. All that's left is to make sure he paid the right amount and put that in the register. As she is halfway through showing you how to work the cash register, you turn to see Fred jump up onto the counter next to you. Oh, hi, Fred. How's it going out here? No need to panic. This isn't a performance review. Just checking things are. He surveys the regulars in the cafe with no small amount of scorn. Sloane, why don't you come with me for a minute? Oh, for a moment. Been meaning to have a chat. But we still need to. Oh, it's Sloane now. But we still need to. She looks forlornly at the pile of coins Grudge left. Even at a glance, you can tell it covers the price of the drink and then some. This might be your last chance to sow suspicions before you execute your plan. Better choose wisely. Let's see. The tills out of paper notes. Could you grab some more? Is Grudge usually like that? I'll deal with this for take 5, Sloane. Let's put it to Grudge now. I don't think anyone's suspicious of Grudge yet. So let's go this way. No. Whatever that was, it was new to me. Full of surprises, Grudge. With that, Fred and Sloane take their leave. As Lyons returns to the room, so too does your opportunity. But you can't help but overhear Fred and Sloane's hushed conversation in the kitchen. I'm just saying, if our best regulars keep bringing their drama here, no one else is going to want to stay. With a sigh, Sloane leans against the kitchen island, the full weight of this morning's events seeming to suddenly sit on her shoulders. They're good, reliable customers. And sure, things have been tricky, but we've got Rini now. With a little hard work, we can turn this around. Besides, aren't there enough names on your board of bands already? Let's not add any more while we're going through a rough patch. She side-eyes a corkboard near the walk-in fridge. There must be at least 24 names on there. 24! Oh my gosh! Each marked with a reason for ban. An vindictive felt tip. I know, you're right. It's just, we don't exactly have a recipe for success here, do we? I did want to talk to you about our recipe, actually. You know, since we've got a new higher end, can we just deal with one thing at a time? First priority is cutting down costs. Now, I noticed the price of algae extract for that blue drink got hiked up, and I figured, wait, no, shouldn't leave Rini on her own for too long. Not the warmest welcome, is it? I'll go. Fred, why even bring me back here if we aren't going to talk? You can't just... A sudden knock on the back door stops her from falling after Fred. Fine, sure, let me deal with that. Always me. Always me. Poor Sloan, dealing with so much. I feel bad, but I'm sorry, Sloan. I'm stealing this recipe. You back up from the doorway to the kitchen, resuming your position at the counter. Despite promising to supervise you, Fred ignores you as he slinks past the counter and jumps onto a nearby table, muttering to himself. Our regulars? It's gonna be a long climb from here to anything stable. While Fred's presence draws a little attention, you start riffling through your bag, making sure you can take any opportunity to launch the heist. At Fred's arrival, Jesse looks up from their work and shoots Grudge a quizzical look. Grudge moves over to them, mind clearly just as boggled. What's he doing out here? It looks like he's just contemplating. What's he even got to contemplate? If you lived as long as him, I'm sure you've had plenty to regret. In the background, Alexandra tries her best to get a clear shot of her drink, but Fred is perched in the way. Freddy, weren't you the one who said, I'd rather die than have my photo on the internet because you aren't acting like it? Do move, please. Alexandra, I've got bigger things to worry about than photographs right now. Could you leave me in peace for just a moment and don't call me Freddy ever again? Bigger things? What bigger things, Fred? Where are all you got? Maybe start acting like it. Grudge, that's not a very smart thing to say, is it? Ah, here it is, right on cue. The shouting match. Fred locks onto Grudge with a wide-eyed death glare. Grudge stares back, his gaze hollow. It's then that Sloan joins you in the main room, dusting her hands clean from Dave's latest packages. Finally. Fred, are you doing alright? Sloan stands still at the sight of Grudge and Fred's stare down. She gazes into his hollow sockets. Let's not fight today. We can be reasonable, can't we? No. We can be reasonable. Grudge, no. Not today, cats. Not today, cat. We've got a new hire today, and if this is the impression we're giving her, we'll be doing her a disservice. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a new hire to attend to, without any more interruptions. As Fred starts to turn around, you scramble for your bag, knowing you have mere milliseconds to execute your plan. A thought suddenly strikes you. You didn't try to make anyone act suspiciously. Right now, it could cost you everything. But you can't delay your plan any further. What? Suspicious? I did! Oh, I didn't have anyone to act suspicious in front of other people. Oh, damn it. I thought I did that. Oh, no. And you're not going to get a better chance than right now. You reach into your bag, and in an instant, all the light and sound is sucked from the room. The sounds of panic are quickly quelled by the magic now pulsing from your cozy co-sleep tight blackout blanket. Even in the silent darkness, you won't have long before everyone gets a sense of their surroundings. But you've been over this plan too many times to fail now. Step 1, take 3 steps into the kitchen, then 6 to the right. You paw for the door handle and slip into the office, thankful that there wasn't an apron to stop you. Step 2, 1, 2, 3 steps, and you feel the cool surface of the safe against your fingers. Step 3, reach into your bag and give your can of Curse Be Gone a shake. A few sprays on the safe, and the words are already flaking off. But there's something else. A sound cutting through the silence, like lightning crackling like lightning. Fred's casting a counterspell. You don't have long. Step 4. Spin the wheel and heave the safe door open. Feel around inside until the safe door swings open, revealing a bag of catnip, a ball of yarn, and document folders, where one paper with a red approved stamp sticks out. But you aren't here for any of those things. The scroll on a wooden stand, with all of its magical markings, lies before you. You've done it. Against all odds, you've managed to pull off the heist. Didn't make it easy for yourself either. Oh, we're back to the beginning. The beginning of the game started like this. Your shaking, outstretched hands grab the cafe's secret recipe before stuffing it into your tiny pocket dimension of your teleportable R lunchbox. But at this crucial moment, you can't help but think of the other people in the cafe and who, if anyone, you should try to pin this on. You exhale, but the sound is too clear. Fred's counterspell is taking hold. Even if you put all your weight on the safe door, you wouldn't have time to close it properly. The best you can do is return as quickly and quietly as you can. As you take careful steps back to the counter, you try your best to control your breathing, to not let the exhilaration show. Oh, it's been so long. As you take careful steps back to the counter, and the darkness finally dissipates, you know you're not safe yet. You get to find an exit and the ensuing chaos without arousing suspicion. Somehow. Oh, kitty go flying! As the silent darkness lifts from the cafe, the first thing you see is Fred bounding through the kitchen, crashing through the cat flap to the office. Is everyone okay in here? No one's hurt? What was that exactly? Blockers don't usually come with spontaneous hearing loss. It is possible with light and sound enhancements. These glitches can happen, but it's rare. They're as dramatic as that. Jesse, we don't have any enchantments like that. This wasn't planned. The plot thins. Wait, where'd Fred go? Before anyone can move, Fred rushes back into the room. Nobody leaves! His eyes crackle gold, and chains of light fly across the cafe. The front door, the windows, the back door, no exits are spared. We can do this the easy way or the hard way, understand? And if you aren't going to turn yourself in, I'll just root you out myself. What? I'm sorry, but whatever just happened is your business. I'm not missing my meeting. I'm sure you have a plan, Frederick. But is it really necessary to, trap us inside your lovely cafe? If you wanted us to stay, you didn't have to do that. And what exactly are you accusing us of exactly? Sitting perfectly still while your lights went weird? Fred, can you please explain what's going on for once? Well, the lights were out, so I went into my office and somehow opened the safe, which means one of the people in this room has stolen our secret recipe. Dun dun dun. It's as if the whole room flinches. Suddenly, everyone's looking at everyone else, wide-eyed, searching their faces for the slightest trace of an answer. As Fred reaches the end of his sentence, you notice his gaze lingering on Sloane before returning to the crowd. Ooh. Jesse seems to be evaluating everyone in turn, but their piercing red eyes burrow into Fred for the longest. Alexandra, meanwhile, throws Jesse a slight glance, reconsidering them for a fraction of a second. Grudge, who eyed you so suspiciously before, briefly turns his attention to Alexandra. Sloane looks Grudge over with a furrowed brow, although she seems less suspicious and more just sad. Most importantly, however, no one seems to regard you for very long. Oh, so what do we do now? What can we do? Well, good luck with that. I'll be on my way. Good luck getting past my magic. I might only be a familiar, but I promise if you try to leave, you'll regret it. Jesse's eyes flicker across Fred's barrier, prying for any weakness in the spellcraft. Frederick, this is utterly absurd. We've all got better things to do than play petty parts in your amateur theatrics. Yeah, how do you know it's just one thief? What, it's a conspiracy of all of us. Finally getting our revenge. He said what he said. He just threw everyone under the bus like, hey, what if it's all of us? Alexandra and Jesse snapped a grudge knowing he just said the wrong thing. We don't have to act like villains. I'll just call the police and... Enough. Enough. This place is sealed and nobody leaves till we find our thief. Singular grudge, because if it was any more, you might have actually succeeded. As for the ACPD, Sloan, fine, I'll call him. I'm betting they'll take their sweet taxpayer-funded time getting here, then label this as unsolvable. But I'm not risking anyone making a break for it in the meantime. So we're going to sit here like adults and get our facts straight, understand? Now, did anyone notice anybody acting strange? Anything suspicious at all? Might get this over with faster if you fess up now. The room exchanges uncomfortable glances. No one says anything, but you already made sure that everyone here suspects someone else, and not you. Yeah, that's what I was going for. Well, great start, everybody. At this rate, we'll have a recipe back within the next 1,000 years. Ugh, there's no use trusting anyone here, is there? I know how these stories go. You've all got some kind of motive. Fred stands on the counter, judging everyone behind him with narrowed eyes. Jesse, the heir to a powerful family with something to prove. There's always one. At the far side of the room, Jesse stands sullen-faced, their fingers laced. They've sunken back from this overwhelming situation. I'm not heir to anything. I'm the youngest of 5. Alexandra, our female fatal, although she hasn't killed anyone. Probably. Near the counter, Alexandra side-eyes Fred over her shoulder with ice-cold anger. This wasn't on her schedule. If it weren't from you, I'd take that as a compliment. Grudge, the obvious suspect. Too obvious, even. But I'm not ruling anything out yet. Grudge, to the right of Jesse, refuses to look at Fred. He stares to one side with indignant eye sockets. So what? That makes you the hero detective? You don't even have a plucky sidekick. Or hat. Sloan, the one you'd least expect. Sloan gives Fred a concerned frown, her posture slack. A thumb on her shoulder, observes him with seeming confusion. Oh, that's good, I think. But Fred, you can't really be saying that Which brings us to our final suspect, Rini. Your breath can't help but flutter as everyone's eyes turn on you. The red herring, I mean, it obviously wasn't you. You're human, got no magic. Worked hard to get this job, you're in the clear. As I said, underestimated. So that's why. She's going to find out who really did this, and everyone's going to be very polite and answer all of her questions. What? She's the detective? I would have been perfect for the job. Although playing psychic to Fred, yeah, bullet dodged. Fred, you know me. You don't seriously think I could have done this, do you? Can we all stop shouting for a moment? Please. Please. It's a waste of everyone's time. Soon as I can, I'm leaving. Don't try to stop me. I'm with you there, Jess. Though I wouldn't mind knowing who really did it. Fred, this whole idea is ridiculous. If you think we're having to lock our best customers inside the cafe and have our newest member of staff interrogate them, then you've got to be. Her voice rising is broken by a ringtone. She stops with a flinch, putting the call on speaker. Dave. Hey, Sloan. Got my very last package out here, but there's these Golden chains on the door. Think it's stuck. You okay in there? Yes, I'm fine. We're just dealing with a burglary. I'll give you the details in a second. Out the door. Oh, one of those days, huh? It's Rini, all right, at least. Good question. Fred just asked her to interrogate us. Look, I know it's unorthodox, but we all need that recipe. That is our best option for this cafe. Or for the cafe. For the cafe? I always knew you hated your customers, but this just confirms it. No grudge, just you. Can we please not fight already? We're not going to solve whatever this is by shouting. I love how every time Grudge is like fighting with Fred, puts his sunglasses on. Like that somehow makes it better for the argument. He puts his sunglasses on. Yeah, it's been a bit loud of a speaker. Rini, what do you actually want to do? If I'm getting paid either way, I might as well. Let's all calm down. We're all on the same side. I don't know. This is a pretty bad first day. We are not all on the same side, though. Someone's a thief. It's been a pretty bad first day. It's the only thing I can really think of getting paid. I mean, if I get paid, but still, it's been a pretty bad first day. You don't think anyone here besides Sloan appreciated the reminder? Exactly. No one wanted things to turn out this way. We all agree on that. But we can still make it better. Hey, when I told you to have a good first day, did I jinx it? My bad. No, that's all on me. I definitely did this to myself. Yes. Look, are we doing this or not, Rini? No matter how strange Fred's idea might be, it could put you in a better position until you make for your getaway. Yeah, make your getaway. Time to lean on the scapegoat part of your plan. So as he starts bounding into the kitchen, you shrug and go along with him. Sloan finishes her call with Dave before following with heavy footsteps. Silence takes the space you leave behind. Sloan catches up with you and Fred in the kitchen. Do you want to talk about any of that? Just relax for a minute, Sloan. I'm gonna check for clues in my office. Rini, join me in a minute. Clues? Fred leaves for his office without another word. I haven't even shown you the espresso machine, and Fred wants you to outpace real detectives. Grand. Let me know if you need help with that. Oh, me too. Not sure there's much I can offer besides moral support, but you know what I'd say. Can't leave till the delivery's done, is all. Just Dave outside the door like, ah. Dave is peering through the window of the kitchen's back door. Thanks, Dave. You always know what to say. Well, it'll get awkward if I'm just looking in, won't it? I'll leave you be, then. Anything you need, just shout into the alley. Just not keep Fred waiting. If you're so intent on ignoring everything I say, maybe you'll be able to talk some sense into him. You oblige her into the office, finding Fred in the middle of a phone call. It's a dark blue smartphone, an older model with a slide-out keyboard, although some keys are missing or worn down. Fred's currently calling a contact with no attached photo who's simply labeled a-hole. Yeah, a theft. Lock down the whole building makes your job a whole lot easier, doesn't it? A locked room scenario is a little intriguing, I suppose. The person on the phone, you know that voice. Thin and sharp as wire, digging into you just as deep, but where? But if it isn't urgent, that's not what I said, and you're not exactly getting picked off one by one. I'll be happy to be there at the earliest convenience. Our department is very busy otherwise. You'll solve it by yourself, really. You shouldn't expect miracles. We are just mortal, you know. Oh, excuse me. Mostly mortal. SL's the satisfied laugh crackles through the receiver. It bounces off the back of your skull, ringing like oh gosh. If you show your face in my business, see you later, familiar. Bah. Why'd I expect anything else? You're dialing all those tiny keys too. Aw, with those paws probably was annoying. Aw, Rini, here already. As you probably heard, the ACPD is taking its sweet time. Oh, it's sweet time. Big surprise, but we don't need them. We'll do the real work. Plan is, you find our prime suspect before the ponies get here and mess everything up. You do that, right? It's 1 in 4. Logical deduction. Fred stinks a not so subtle glance at your CV across the desk. Should be easy for a self-motivated professional like yourself. And you value a job well done. Good. That's what we care about. You'll be a good fit here. Right. Let's put those soft skills of yours to use. Imagine I'm one of the suspects. What would you ask me? Hey, do you have the recipe? You did, didn't you? Just confess. I honestly would, yes. Yeah, I tried that already. Didn't work. Good instincts, but we're going to need more than that to... He stops to breathe out as much tension as he can manage. What we need is evidence, eyewitness accounts, motives, that sort of stuff. Stuff like, what were you doing when the lights went out? Or, how do you feel about the familiar? Or, what's your relationship with Fred? You know? If that's what he wants, while you're trapped here, that's exactly what he'll get. You find us a prime suspect with a convincing case, I mean. Something thoroughly investigated. We can put things back to normal. Things are gonna get complicated once he shows up too. So I appreciate having someone on my side when that happens. I know how this sounds. It's a dumb idea, but it's the best I've got right now. And if we don't do something, this place is going under. All our livelihoods are at stake here, so get out there and catch us a thief. Please. Your plan went off without a hitch, until it didn't. The boss doesn't suspect you, at least not yet. And if a real detective from the ACPD is coming, no doubt they'll find out you're the thief. That is, unless you have a convincing scapegoat. With evidence of a motive, and the others on your side, you might be able to clock off at the end of the day without handcuffs. Until that happens, Fred's magic will keep you trapped here. So with that, your investigation begins. Not to find out who did it, but to find the perfect person to blame. To be continued. Well, that was a good end to the demo. I hope you all enjoyed it. I enjoyed it quite a bit. It's very different from a lot of other visual novels that are mystery games, because usually you're trying to figure out who did it, and in this aspect you're just trying not to get caught, and I love that. It's so great. The music is good, the characters, everything. I love it so much. So hopefully when this game does come out fully in 2025, we can expect good things. But that is all that I had for today, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, bye-bye!